Last summer, during Arsenal's first transfer window under Raul Sanllehi, the Spaniard gained admiration from the Arsenal faithful after bringing in a variety of popular signings. Back then it was reported Arsenal had less than £40 million to work with during the transfer window. Using just installments and loans, Sanllehi brought in a variety of new faces, including Nicolas Pepe, Kieran Tierney, Dani Ceballos, and David Luiz, as well as youngsters Gabriel Martinelli and William Saliba. Now, 12 months later, after Arsenal's most disappointing season in the last 20 years, Arsenal fans expect a second masterclass from Sanllehi in yet another crucial transfer window. So, who is the little Spaniard who now holds the keys to Arsenal's transfer strategy? During the early stages of his footballing career, Raul Sanllehi spent a couple of years at Barca's La Masia Academy. Although Sanllehi would never make it as a footballer for Barcelona, he would eventually return to the club in 2002 as head of Barcelona merchandising. After Joan Laporta won the club presidency the following year, Sanllehi's role at the Nou Camp expanded into institutional relations with both UEFA and FIFA. Over time, Sanllehi's job description gradually extended into transfer activity. Sanllehi was often used as an expert negotiator when Barcelona were struggling to get deals over the line. He was particularly active in South America, and in 2013, he spent many weeks in Brazil making sure Barcelona beat Real Madrid to the signing of Neymar. It was one of the great modern transfer stories as the two super clubs went head to head in trying to sign one of the most talented players in the world. When Neymar was presented at the Nou Camp in June 2013, then Vice President Josep Maria Bartomeu offered special thanks to Sanllehi for his role in very long and sometimes quite difficult negotiation, which eventually had been successfully concluded. After Sanllehi's success with the Neymar deal, he was then promoted to Barcelona's Director of Football. It was during Sanllehi's time working in institutional relations at Barcelona that he first came to know Ivan Gazidis. As the Wenger era was coming to an end at Arsenal, Gazidis would identify Sanllehi as someone who could lead Arsenal forward in the post-Wenger era. When Wenger would eventually leave the club in 2017, Gazidis put in place what looked to be an ideal blend of new ideas by bringing in both Sanllehi and Sven Mislintat. Sanllehi had his contact-led approach, while Mislintat had a more analytical and scout-based approach. And at the start, it looked to be a brilliant combination, but over time it turned into a clash of cultures. The pair could not work together, and Mislintat eventually left the club, while Sanllehi would assume full power over Arsenal's recruitment strategy. In the football world, Sanllehi is a very connected man. Both Arturo Canelles and Kia Garuchkin are agents that are very close to Arsenal's new director of football. The likes of Pablo Mari, David Luiz, and Cedric Suarez are clients of Canelles and Garuchkin. Furthermore, it's Canelles who introduced Unai Emery to Sanllehi in 2017. This summer, Arsenal have been linked to the likes of Willian, Coutinho, and Umtiti, players who are all represented by either Canelles or Garuchkin. While another Premier League team, Wolves, have massively benefited from Jorge Mendes' involvement, the jury is still out at Arsenal. However, if Arsenal can experience the same trajectory of success that Wolves have, there's no doubt Sanllehi will be loved by the Arsenal faithful. In many ways, Sanllehi's choices for Arsenal are almost as important as Arteta's in trying to make the club competitive again. So far, some of Sanllehi's signings have been very promising. Gabriel Martinelli has already shown the talent to suggest his signature with some outstanding business. Kieran Tierney, who is now shining after injury, is just 23, and 19-year-old William Saliba, who will join Arsenal next season, has immense potential. Even Matteo Guendouzi, who is currently out of favour at the club, is clearly already worth considerably more than they paid for him. If Guendouzi is sold in the coming transfer window, Arsenal will have made a handsome profit. If you mix Sanllehi's signings in with an encouraging crop of young players emerging from the academy with the likes of Saka, Nketiah, and Willock, Arsenal look to have a promising future ahead of them. There's still much work to be done, and as Arteta continues to point out, the gap to the elite clubs in England is still enormous. Like Arteta, Sanllehi has started well. In many ways, the two Spaniards' decisions, Arteta and Sanllehi, are equally as important for Arsenal's future. They each have a big summer ahead of them, and while the initial signs are promising, like the people before them, they will eventually be judged on the results and performances Arsenal deliver.